Okay, good morning, dear students. My name is C. Balraj, working as a uh, physics faculty at TTWRDC, Nagar Karnool. Okay, in our daily life, we can observe so many electronic devices, just like TV, mobile, and electronic switch, etc., etc. So, in which there is a main device is there, that is a transistor. So in that electronic devices, transistor plays a main key role. That's why here we can study the about transistors. So in this topic, we can study what is transistor, and how many parts in transistors, and how many types of transistors, and how they can work. This is the our topic. Okay, in our previous class we are already completed semiconductors. So what is semiconductors, and how many types of semiconductors, just like yeah, types of semiconductors means intrinsic and extrinsic semiconductors, or pure semiconductors, or impure semiconductors. So in extrinsic semiconductors, once again classified into two types. They are N-type semiconductor and P-type semiconductors. These are the our previous class. Now today we are going to discuss about transistors. Transistors. Okay. So here, uh, first of all, so what is transistor? So transistor is a three-terminal semiconducting device which consists of two p-n junctions formed by sandwiching p-type or n-type semiconductor between two opposite types. Okay, transistor means it is a three-terminal semiconducting device. It is formed by inserting p-type or n-type semiconductors in opposite types. That is the transistor means. Now symbol. So here this is the symbol of a transistor. So here this is the symbol of transistor. Uh, so before discussing about the parts of transistor, transistors are classified into two types. They are, one is NPN transistor and PNP transistor. Transistors are classified into two types. They are, one is NPN transistor and the second one is PNP transistor. So here, before types of transistors, we can we know the parts of the transistors. Parts of the transistor, that is terminals of the transistors. Terminals of the transistor. Here a transistor consists of three terminals. A transistor consists three terminals. They are, one is emitter, second one is base, and third one is collector. Okay. So every transistor consists three terminals or three parts. They are, one is emitter, base, collector. So see here diagram. This is the emitter region or emitter, and this is the base region. This is the collector region. These are the three main parts of the transistor. So first of all, emitter means so it is a heavily doped section. It is the heavily doped section of the transistor which emits or supplies the majority charge carriers to the collectors. So the heavily doped region in transistor is called emitter. It the work is, it can supplies or it can emit the majority charge carriers to the collector. So for that, to emit large number of charge carriers, it is heavily doped and always connected in forward bias. Okay, here emitter means the main work of emitter is it can supplies or it can emits the majority charge carriers to the collector. Hence it is heavily doped region, heavily doped, and it is always connected in forward bias, and it is moderate in size. So here we can get we get a term that is doped or doping. So here doping means the process of adding impurities to the pure semiconductors is called as doping. The process of adding impurities to the pure semiconductors is known as doping. Pure semiconductors means just like silicon, germanium, silicon and germanium. Impurity means other group elements are adding to the pure semiconductors, that is silicon or germanium. So that process is known as doping. So here emitter also a heavily doped region, because of here because of it emits large number of charge carriers, Okay, next part, base. So base, the base the middle thin section which forms two p-n junctions between emitter and collector is called as base. The middle thin section which forms two p-n junctions between emitter and collector is called as base. So we know that every transistor consists three parts. They are emitter, base, collector. So in the place or the region in between emitter and collector is known as base. So here base lightly doped, and it works as bridge between emitter and collector to transfer majority charge carriers. So here the main work of the base is it transfers the charge carriers through it from emitter to collector. That's why it behaves as a bridge in between emitter and collector. That is the work of the base. So third one, collector. So here the moderately doped section which collects the majority charge carriers is called collector. So to collect majority charge carriers, it is always connected in reverse bias. As it is in reverse bias, much heat is produced. Hence, to dissipate heat, it has large in size. So in transistor, the region which is collect the majority charge carriers from the emitter is known as collector. So this collector is moderately doped because of it collect the majority charge carriers from emitter. So this collector is always connected in reverse bias. The collector is always connected in reverse bias. So whenever we connect that collector in reverse bias, some heat produced in that region. So if you want to remove that heat in that region, here the size of the collector is maximum. That's why the size of the collector is maximum or large. Why we are taking large in size? Because of to dissipate or to remove the heat from that region. This is the three parts in transistor. So once again, every transistor consists of three terminals. Three terminals. They are emitter, base, collector. Emitter, base, collector. Emitter is heavily doped region. It always produces or supplies or emits the majority charge carriers, and it is heavily doped region. And base is the thin section in between emitter and collector. It transfers the majority charge carriers from emitter to collector. Hence, the base behaves as a bridge in between emitter and collector. This base is lightly doped, and the third one is third region, that is collector. So collector is a moderately doped section. It always collect the majority charge carriers from the emitter. So it have large in size comparing with emitter and base, because of the collector is always connected in reverse bias. Here there is hence there is a small amount of heat produces in that region. If you want to remove or to dissipate heat from that region, the size of the collector is maximum. Okay, this is the three terminals of the transistor. Okay, next one. So here the transistor are classified into two types. They are, one is NPN transistor and PNP transistor. So first of all, we can discuss NPN transistor. NPN transistor. So here, what is NPN transistor and how to construct the NPN transistor and how to work NPN transistor. First of all, what is NPN transistor? So when a p-type material is sandwiched between two n-types, it is called NPN transistor. P-type, n-type. We know that p-type semiconductor and n-type semiconductor. Here, if you insert a p-type semiconductor, in between two n-type semiconductors, then we can get NPN transistor. NPN transistor. That means when a p-type material is sandwiched between two n-types, it is called NPN transistor. NPN transistor. Now symbol. Now symbol of NPN transistor is this one. This is the NPN transistor. Here observe, in the place of base we are inserting one p-type semiconductor. Now we can get NPN transistor. NPN. The n-type semiconductor, p-type semiconductor, n-type semiconductor. So here this is the symbol of NPN transistor. This is also symbol of NPN transistor. So in this transistor there are three parts. We know that emitter, base, collector. Emitter, base, collector. Here these are the three parts: base, emitter. So how to determine collector and base and emitter in this symbol? So here by drawing a arrow mark, or the arrow mark symbol represents the emitter. Always arrow mark line represents emitter. So in between these two lines there is a thin line, that is base, and remaining part is collector. Okay, arrow mark line represents always emitter. Always emitter. This is the NPN symbol of NPN transistor. Next, construction of NPN transistor. How to construct the NPN transistor? For that, the NPN transistor has two diodes connected back to back. The diode on the left side is called an emitter base diode, and the diodes on the left side are called collector base diode. Sorry, here this is not right side. So first of all, the NPN transistor has two diodes connected in back to back. One is n-type NP diode and PN diode. So the left side emitter base diode, the diode left side is called emitter base diode. That means here this diode, this region is called emitter base diode, and right side this region is called as collector base diode. Collector base diode. Next, the NPN transistor has three terminals, namely emitter, collector and base. Similarly, as transistor, this NPN transistor also consists three main parts, that is emitter, base, and collector. The middle section of the NPN transistor is lightly doped, and it is the most important factor of the working of the transistor. Okay, every transistor consists three parts now: emitter, base, collector. So here NPN transistor also consists three main parts, that is emitter, base, collector. Here the middle section the middle section is base is lightly doped, and it is most important factor for the working of this NPN transistor. And here emitter moderately doped, and the collector is heavily doped. So in generally in transistor emitter, the emitter region is heavily doped region, and base is lightly doped region, and collector is moderately doped region. But in the case of NPN transistor, emitter is moderately doped, and collector is heavily doped. This is the difference in general transistor and NPN transistor. Now circuit diagram of NPN transistor. Circuit diagram of NPN transistor. Now the circuit diagram of the NPN transistor is shown in the figure below. So this is the circuit diagram for NPN transistor. Circuit diagram for NPN transistor. So this is the NPN transistor symbol. This NPN transistor symbol. Now the collector and the base circuit is connected in reverse bias, while the emitter base circuit is connected in forward bias. So this is the circuit diagram for NPN transistor. In this case collector and base circuit. So this is the collector. How to, we can say this is the collector region. So arrow mark always represents emitter region, and middle one is base, and the remaining one is collector. Hence we can say this is the collector region. So here the collector and base region, collector and base region are connected in reverse bias, while emitter base circuit is connected in forward bias. So how to connect what is the meaning of reverse bias and what is the meaning of forward bias? Means the positive terminal and negative terminal are connected, positive to positive and negative to negative. Then that connection or the biasing is called forward bias. That means if you connect positive terminal to positive terminal, negative terminal to negative terminal, that biasing is called as forward bias. Otherwise, if you connect forward bias for positive terminal to the negative terminal, and negative terminal to the positive terminal, then that biasing is called as reverse biasing. That is the biasing process. So in this case, collector and base are connected in reverse bias. That means here collector is connected to the positive terminal and base is connected to the negative terminal. So here NPN, so N means negative terminal. Negative terminal is connected to the positive terminal, and P is the positive terminal. This positive terminal is connected to the negative terminal. Hence it is in reverse bias. It is in reverse bias. At the same time, emitter terminal is the negative terminal here in this case, and it is connected to the ground, and hence it is forward bias. This is the forward. Now the collector is always connected in to the positive supply, and the base is negative supply for the controlling the on off state of the transistor. So in NPN transistor, collector is always connected to the positive terminal of the battery, and base is always connected to the negative terminal of the battery. So by connecting this we can control the on or off states of the transistor, on off states of the transistors. By connecting collector to the positive terminal and base is negative terminal, we can control the, or we can manage the on off states of the transistor. Okay, next here, next one, working. So here we are completed NPN, what is NPN transistor and what is the symbol of NPN transistor, and how to construct the NPN transistor, how to construct the NPN transistor, and circuit diagram of the NPN transistors, circuit diagram of the NPN transistor. Next, here we are going to working of NPN transistor, how to work the NPN transistor. Okay, so here we are discussing about classification of transistors. Transistors are classified into two types. They are, one is NPN transistor and second one is PNP transistor. So here we are studying what is NPN transistor and what is the symbol of transistor, and how to construct the NPN transistor, and what is the circuit diagram for NPN transistor. So after this one, we can discuss working of NPN transistor, working of NPN transistor. Now here, the circuit diagram of the NPN transistor is shown in the figure below. The forward bias is applied across the emitter bias junction, and the reverse bias is applied across the collector bias junction, collector base junction. The forward bias voltage VEB is small as compared with the reverse bias voltage. So in the working of NPN transistor, first collector and base region, collector base region is connected in reverse bias, collector base region is connected in reverse bias. At the same time, emitter base region is connected in forward bias, okay. So this region, this is the this region is connected in forward bias, and this region is connected in reverse bias. Okay, so here this battery, the voltage or the potential in across the emitter base junction is called as VEB, emitter base voltage or potential. Okay, VEB means voltage across the emitter base region. Similarly, VCB, voltage or potential across base collector region is called VCB. So in this case, the forward voltage VEB is small as compared to the reverse bias voltage, that is VCB. That means input voltage is smaller than output voltage. Input voltage is smaller than output voltage. This is the circuit diagram. So VEB is the battery. It can VEB is the potential or voltage across the emitter base junction, and VCB is the voltage across the base collector junction, that is the output region. So the emitter of the NPN transistor is heavily doped. The emitter of the NPN transistor is heavily doped. When the forward bias is applied across the emitter, the majority charge carriers move towards the base. This causes the emitter current, i.e. the electrons enter into the p-type material and combine with the holes. So here the emitter region is heavily doped region, and it is connected in forward bias. And whenever it connected into the forward bias, by using a battery, it can uh, produces or emits the majority charge carriers to move towards the base junction, base region. Hence, some current is produces. That current is known as emitter current. Emitter current. That is denoted with IE, I suffix E. That means emitter current. The electrons enter into the p type material and combined with the holes. The electrons which are coming from the emitter region and which are enters into the base, they are combined with the holes which are lies in the base region. Now here the base of the NPN transistor is lightly doped. So first emitter is a heavily doped region, hence it can produce as majority charge carriers, and it is applied to the base region, hence it some current produces. That current is known as emitter current, and the majority charge carriers which are enters into the base are combined with the holes which are lies in the base region. So in this case, the base is moderately doped, or lightly doped, due to which only a few electrons are combined and remaining constitutes the base current. So some of the electrons are combined with the holes which are lies in the base region, and remaining. So here the emitter region are sending large number of electrons towards the base region. Only a few number of electrons are combines with holes, and remaining electrons are produces or moves towards the collector region, and in this situation some current produces in the base region, that is called base current, denoted with IB, I suffix B. IB means base current. Next, this base current enters into the collector region. The reverse bias potential of the collector region applies the high attractive force on the electrons reaching collector junction. So the electrons which are coming from the emitter through the base that at that then this collector applies a attractive force on that free collector electrons which are coming through the base. Hence thus attract or collect the electrons at the collector. So due to attractive potential, the electrons are collected by the collector. Now the whole the whole of the emitter current is enter into the base. Thus we can say that the emitter current is the sum of the collector and base current. So here this is the equation for emitter current. So the emitter current is equal to the sum of the collector current and base current. So IC means collector current, IB means base current. So this is the working of the NPN transistor. Working of the NPN transistor. Once again, in working of the in this case, emitter is heavily doped region. It can produces majority charge carriers to the collector through base. Hence, some current produces. The current is known as emitter current, and the electrons which are enters into the base region are some few number of electrons are combined with the holes which are lies in the base region. Because of here base is lightly doped region, and remaining electrons are transferred or moves towards the collector due to attractive potential of the collector. Hence some current produces in the collector region. That current is known as collector current. So in this case the total emitter current is equal to the sum of the base current and collector current. This is the equation, I equal to IC plus IB. Okay, this is the working of NPN transistor, NPN transistor. Okay, next one. Next one, PNP transistor. So already we are classified transistor into two types. They are, one is NPN transistor and the second one is PNP transistor. Here we are completed NPN transistor. What is NPN transistor? What is the symbol of NPN transistor? And what is the how to construct the NPN transistor? And how what is the circuit diagram for NPN transistor and working of NPN transistor? That is the completed. Now here we are going to start what is PNP transistor. What is PNP transistor? So here when a n-type material is sandwiched between two p-types, it is called PNP transistor. That means by inserting a n-type semiconductor, by inserting n-type semiconductors in between two p-types is called as PNP transistor. PNP transistor. Now symbol of PNP transistors is this one. Okay, this is the PNP transistor. Here we are inserting this one. N-type semiconductor is inserting between two p-types, between two p-type semiconductors. Now we can get PNP transistor. PNP transistor. This is the another symbol for PNP transistor. In this case, this arrow mark line represents always emitter, and this one middle one represents base, and remaining part represents collector. So this is the another symbol for PNP transistor. Now construction of NPN transistor. Construction of NPN transistor. The construction of NPN transistor is shown in the figure below. The emitter base junction is connected in forward bias and the collector base junction is connected in reverse bias. So in the construction of NPN transistor, emitter base junction is connected in forward bias, and collector base junction is connected in reverse bias. The emitter which is connected in the forward bias attracts the electrons towards the battery, and hence constitutes the current to flow from the emitter to collector. So here emitter is connected in forward bias, and hence it attracts the majority charge carriers, or that is electrons from the battery, and moves towards the battery, attracts the electrons towards the battery, and hence constitutes the current. That the current is known as emitter current, and that current is moves towards the collector. That means the emitter current flows from emitter to collector region. This is the next one. Here the base of the transistor is always kept in positive with respect to the collector, so that the hole from the collector junction cannot enter into the base, and the base emitter is kept in forward bias, due to which the holes from the emitter region enter into the base and then into the collector region by crossing the depletion region. That means finally here emitter base junction is always connected into the forward bias, and base collector region is connected in reverse bias. So in that situation, some current passes from emitter to collector region. This is the construction of a PNP transistor. Next one. Okay, next one, working of PNP transistor. Now here the emitter base junction is connected in forward bias, due to which emitter pushes the holes in the base region. So already we discussed emitter base junction is connected in forward bias at construction of PNP transistor. That means in this case also emitter base junction is connected in forward bias, due to which emitter pushes the holes in the base region. So whenever emitter base junction is connected in forward bias by using a battery, some holes are pushed towards the base region. Now these holes constitute the emitter current. Emitter current. So in PNP transistor emitter region produces some current. That current produces due to only holes. Due to only holes, because of this emitter is connected in forward bias, hence it pushes some holes towards the base region, hence some current produces due to holes. That's why the emitter current produces only due to holes. Now when these electrons move into n-type semiconductor material or base, they combine with the electrons. That means the holes which are pushed by the emitter region are combined with the electrons. Which are in base region. Okay. Now the base of the transistor is thin and a very lightly doped. So here base at the base region there are few number of electrons. So some electrons are combined with the holes, hence some current produces in the emitter region due to holes. Now hence only few holes are combined with the electrons and the remaining are moved towards the collector's space charge layer, hence develop the base current. So the electrons in the base region are combined, the few electrons in the base region are combined with holes in the emitter region, and remaining electrons in the base region are moved towards the collector region. So at that situation, some current produces in the base region. That current is called as base current, denoted with IB. So this is the IB due to free electrons moving from base to collector. So here IE is the emitter current. It is produces due to holes. Okay. Next one, the collector base region is connected in reverse bias, and the holes which are collected around the depletion region when coming under the impact of negative polarity collected or attracted by the collector. So we know that the base collector base region is connected in reverse bias. So the holes which are collect around the depletion region when coming under the impact of negative polarity collected or attracted by the collector. Okay, the electrons in the base region are attracted or collected by the collector. So this develops the collector current. Collector attracts the electrons which are coming from the base. Hence, some current produces in collector region. That current is known as collector current, denoted with IC, I suffix C. Now, the complete emitter current flows through the collector current is, so it is here IC is equal to IE minus IB. Equation for collector current in a PNP transistor is IC equal to IE minus IB. IE is the emitter current and IB is the base current. Okay, the difference in between emitter current and base current gives the collector current. Okay, this is the PNP transistor. What is PNP transistor and what is the symbol of PNP transistor, and how to construct the PNP transistor, and working of the PNP transistor. Okay, here we are completed Classification of types of transistors. Types of transistor, that is, transistors are two types. They are NPN transistor and second one is PNP transistor. Now here we are completed what is NPN transistor and what is the symbol of NPN transistor, what is the circuit diagram for the NPN transistor, and how to construct the NPN transistor, and how to construct the NPN transistor, and how to work the NPN transistor. Similarly, what is PNP transistor, what is the symbol of PNP transistor, and how to construct the PNP transistor, and how to works the PNP transistor. So this is the types of transistors and working of different types of transistors. Different types of transistors. Next one, here we are going to configuration of transistors. That means transistor configurations. Transistor configurations. So in introduction, we know that transistor consists only three terminals. Only three terminals. That is emitter, base, collector. Emitter, base, collector. Now, if you connect in a if you want to connect a transistor in a circuit, it needs four terminals. It needs four terminals. Hence, one of the three terminals has to be taken as common for remaining two. Okay, now here observe clearly. Transistor consists only three terminals: emitter, base, collector. Emitter, base, collector. Okay, emitter, base, collector. If we want to connect a transistor in any circuit, it needs four terminals. Hence, out of three terminals, one is taken as common. One is taken for common for remaining two terminals. Out of these four, two used for input and two used for output. So by using one terminal is common, we get four terminals. So out of these four terminals, two terminals are used as input terminals and two used for output terminals. So depending on common terminal, a transistor can be connected in three ways. So depending connecting the depending on common terminal, a transistor can be connected in three ways. A transistor connected in three ways. They are: one is common base configuration, and the second one is common collector configuration, and the third one is common emitter configuration. Okay. So depending on common terminal, a transistor can be connected in three ways. They are common base configuration, second one is common collector configuration, and third one is common emitter configuration. Okay. Common base configuration means, in this case, base is taken as common for emitter and collector, just like this. So this is the emitter, base, collector. Okay, this is the terminals. This is the terminal. So here common base configuration means base is taken as common for emitter and collector, like this. It is connected. Base is taken as common for emitter and collector. Hence, it is called common base configuration. Here, next one, common collector configuration. Like this. This is the emitter region. This is the base region. Emitter base, collector. Here collector is taken common for base region and emitter region, like this. Base, this one, like this. So it is called common collector configuration. That means if you take collector is common for base emitter region, that configuration is called as common collector configuration. Next one, common emitter configuration. Common emitter configuration means like this. Similarly, okay, this is the emitter region, this is the base region, emitter, base, collector, sorry, emitter region. This is the collector, this is the base, this is the emitter region. So this emitter region is taken as common for base and collector. Okay, depending on common terminal, transistor can be connected in three ways, that is common base configuration, common collector configuration, common emitter configuration, common emitter configuration. Now, so here we want to determine VI characteristics of transistor, voltage and current characteristics of the transistor by using these three configurations. First of all, common base configuration. Here in this configuration we use base as a common terminal for both input and output signals. Okay, this is the circuit diagram for common base configuration. So in this configuration, base is taken for common for in emitter and collector. That means input side and output side. Common base as common terminal for both input and output signals. The configuration name itself indicates the common terminal. Now here the input is applied between the base emitter terminals and the corresponding output signal is taken between the base and collector terminal, with the base terminal is grounded. So in common base configuration, base is taken as common for emitter and collector. Hence, this emitter base region is taken as input region, and base collector region is taken as output signal. That means by using a battery, we can supply potential to the emitter base region, that is input signal, and another battery using at output side that can produce supplies voltage to the collector base region. So VEB means potential across the emitter base region, and VCB, that is the output voltage, that is across the collector and base region. So here in this case, base region is grounded. It is common for input and output signals. Now here the input parameters VEB and IE, and the output parameters are VCB and IC. So input voltage, that is VEB, means voltage across emitter and base region, that is potential across emitter and base region. And IE, it is the input current, it is coming from the emitter region. Next, output parameters, that is VCB, V suffix CB means potential or voltage across the collector base region. And IC, that means output current. IC means output current, which are coming from the collector. Now the input current flowing into the emitter terminal must be higher than the base current and collector current to operate to transistor. So in this case, the input current IB is always higher than the base current. Emitter current is always, that means input current is always higher than the output current, that is IC. That means IE is greater than IC. Now the current gain is generally equal or less than the less than to unity for this type of configuration. Gain, current gain, that means the ratio between input and output currents, that is gain means. So here the current gain of the this common base configuration is always less than the unity. Now the input and the output signals are in phase the configuration phase in this configuration. The amplifier circuit configuration of this type is called a non-inverting amplifier circuit. The construction of this configuration circuit is difficult because this type has high voltage gain values. So common base configuration has high voltage gain, hence to construct a common base configuration is difficult. Okay, now the input characteristics of this configuration are looks like characteristics of the illuminated photodiode, while the output characteristics represents forward bias diode. This transistor configuration has high output impedance and low input impedance. So in the common base configuration, the impedance configuration in transistor have high impedance at output side and low impedance at input side. Now this type of configuration has high resistance gain, that is ratio of output resistance to input resistance is high. The voltage gain for this configuration of circuit is given by voltage gain of this one is AV. Voltage gain of common base configuration AV equal to the ratio of output voltage to the input voltage V out by V in gives the voltage gain of this configuration circuit, or it is equal to IC RL by IE R in. So V means equal to IR na, hence output current means output values IRL and input values IR in. This is the equation for voltage gain in this configuration. Now current gain in common base configuration is given as current gain. This is a voltage gain. Now here current gain denoted with alpha, it is equal to output current by input current. That means alpha equal to IC by IE. Alpha equal to IC by IE. So here the common base circuit is mainly used in single stage amplified circuits such as microphone, preamplifier or radio frequency amplifiers because of their high frequency response. Here this type of configuration circuits are used in amplifiers and microphone amplifiers and radio frequency amplifiers because of these configurations have high frequency response. Now the common base transistor circuit is given below. Now here input characteristics of common base configuration, that is the input characteristics are obtained between input current and input voltage with constant output voltage. Okay, the input characteristics of the common base configuration is obtained by input in between input current and input voltage by keeping output voltage constant. So first of all, keep the output voltage VCB is constant and vary the input voltage VGB for different points. Then at each point record the input current IE value. So repeat the same process at different output voltage levels. So For input characteristics, first of all, by keep the output voltage is constant, that is VCB put at constant, like 0 volts, and at 8 volts, and at 18 volts. So by keeping output voltage, we can change input voltage, that is VBE change. By changing input voltage, we can observe or we can note the input current, that is IE value. IE, and repeat this process same. That means by keeping output voltages at different values, like 0, 8, and 18 volts. Now by changing input voltage, we can take the input current. So in this situation, now with these values, we need to plot a graph between IE and VEB parameters. The below figure shows the input characteristics of the common base configuration. Okay, after taking of the values, now we can draw a graph in between input current and input voltage. Now we can get different curves like this, Now this graph gives the input characteristics of the common base configuration. So here the equation of calculate the input resistance, that is Rin value is given below. Now input resistance of the common base configuration is calculated by using this equation, that is Rin equal to VEB by IE. VEB by IE. VEB is the input voltage by IE. IE means input current. This ratio gives the input resistance for common base configuration. Okay, this is the input characteristics. Next one, output characteristics. Output characteristics. Output characteristics. The output characteristics of common base configuration are obtained between output current and output voltage with constant input current. Okay, input current means output voltage is constant. Output voltage is constant, and by changing input voltage, we take an input current. Then we can draw a graph in between input voltage and input current. Then that graph gives the input characteristics. Now output characteristics. So here, by keeping input voltage, by keeping input current constant, by changing output voltage, we take output current. So by keeping input current constant, by changing output voltage, we take output current. Then we can get we can draw a graph in between output current and output voltage. That graph gives the output characteristics of common base configuration. Okay, that is first keep the emitter current constant. Emitter current means it is the input current IE, and vary the VCB value for different points. VCB means output voltage across collector base junction, that is output voltage for different points. Now record the IC value. That means by keeping input current constant, we are changing input output voltage. Then we take output current for different values of output voltage. Then we draw a graph in between VCB and IC. VCB means output voltage and output current. The below figure shows the output characteristics of common base configuration. So whenever a graph draw in between output current and output voltage, now we get a graph like this. Here IE 25 milliamperes, 20 milliamperes, 15 milliamperes, 10 milliamperes, 5 milliamperes, and 0 amperes. That means here we are keeping input current at different values like 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 milliamperes. Now here we are changing output voltage like 2, 4, 6, etc. Now we take output current. Then we are drawing a graph in between IC and VCB. Now we get a graph like this. This graph represents the output characteristics of the common base configuration. Here we want to know the what is the resistance of the what is the output resistance of the common base configuration. For that, here we have one equation, that is R out equal to VCB by IC. VCB means output voltage by IC, output current. This ratio gives the output resistance for common base configuration. So this is the common base configuration. So circuit diagram and voltage gain and current gain for common base configuration, and input characteristics and equation for input resistance, and output characteristics and equation for output resistance. This is the common base configuration. Okay, next one. Here we are going to discuss common collector configuration. So in this configuration, we use collector terminal has common for both input and output signals. So in common collector configuration, collector is taken common for input and output signals. Hence it is called as common collector configuration. This configuration is also known as emitter follower configuration, because the emitter voltage follows the base voltage. This configuration is mostly used as a buffer. This configuration are widely used in impedance matching applications because their high input impedance. Now in this configuration, the input signal is applied between the base collector region and the output taken from the emitter collector. Here the input parameters VBC and IB, and the output parameters is VCE and IE. The common collector configuration has high input impedance and low output impedance. Here base collector region is taken as input region. That means for providing input signal, and emitter collector region is taken as output region, that is output signal. Now here VBC potential voltage across base collector region is taken as input signal, and IB is the input current. At the same time, VCE voltage across emitter and collector region, and IE is the output current. So in this configuration, this transistor has high input impedance and low output impedance. So in this common collector configuration, this transistor has high input impedance and low output impedance. Now the input and output signals are in phase, same phase. Here also the emitter current is equal to the sum of the collector current and the base current. Similarly, the output current of this configuration, that is collector current, is equal to the sum of the base and emitter current. Here the emitter current is equal to the sum of the collector current and base current. Okay, this is the circuit diagram for common collector configuration. Next, current gain for common collector configuration, that is AI, that is output current by input current. It is equal to AI by IE by IB. IE means output current, emitter current, input current means IB. So it is here we know the IE value is AI equal to IC plus IB by IB. And by simplifying this, we can get AI equal to IC by IB plus 1. So in the place of IC by IB, we are writing beta. So beta finally AI equal to beta plus 1. So the common collector transistor circuit is shown in above. This common collector configuration is non-inverting amplifier circuit. The voltage gain for this circuit is less than the unity, but it has large current gain. Large current gain. The gain because of the load resistor in this circuit receives the both collector and base currents. Okay, now this is the equation for current gain for common collector configuration. Next, input characteristics. Input characteristics. The input characteristics of common collector configuration are quite different from the common base and common emitter configuration because the input voltage VBC is large, determined by VCE level. Here VC EC equal to VEB plus VBC and VEB equal to VEC minus VBC. So the input characteristics of common collector configuration are obtained between input current IB and the input voltage VCB at constant output voltage. Output voltage. Keep the output voltage VEC constant and different levels vary input voltage and different points recorded the base current values each point. Now using these values we need to draw a graph between the parameters VBC and IB and currents. So here we get input characteristics for this configuration by keeping output voltage is constant. By changing input voltage we take a base current, base current. So repeating this process by at different constant values at different output constant voltage values, we take different input current values at different input voltages. Then we can draw a graph in between input voltage and input current, and that graph gives the input characteristics of a common collector configuration. This is the this graph gives the characteristics, input characteristics of a common collector configuration. Okay. Next one, output characteristics for this configuration. Here the operation of the common collector circuit is same as that of common emitter circuit. The output characteristics of a common collector circuit are obtained between the output voltage VEC and output current IE at constant input current IB. So in the operation common collector circuit, if the base current is 0, then the emitter current is also becomes 0. As a result, no current flows through the transistor. So in the output characteristics by keeping input current, we are changing output voltage, then we can note output current values. So at a different input current values, we take different output current values. Then here we can draw a graph in between output voltage and output current. That graph gives the output characteristics of a current common collector configuration. Okay, this is the graph drawn in between output current and output voltage by keeping input currents at different values like 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120 milliamperes. So by keeping these values constant, we change by changing output voltage, we take the different output currents. Then we can draw a graph in between IE output current and VEC, that is output voltage. Now this graph gives the output characteristics for common collector configuration. Okay. Next one, common emitter configuration. Common emitter, third one. This is the third one and last one. This is a circuit diagram for common emitter configuration. So in this configuration we use emitter is common terminal for both input and outputs regions. So here emitter is taken as common for input region and output region, hence it is called as common emitter configuration. So this common emitter configuration is an inverting amplified circuit. Here the input is applied between base emitter region and the output is taken between collector emitter terminals. So in this configuration the input parameters are VBE and IB, and the output parameters are VCE and IC. So in this case emitter is taken as common for input region and output regions. So here base emitter region is taken as input region, and emitter and collector region is taken as output region. So here V VBE is input voltage across the base emitter region, and IB is the input current across the base emitter region. Similarly, VCE is the voltage across the collector emitter region, and IC is the output current. So this type of configuration is mostly used for in the applications of transistor based on amplifiers. Okay, next input characteristics. So in this the input characteristics of common emitter configuration are obtained between the input current IB and the input voltage with constant output voltage. Keep the input voltage VCE constant and vary the input voltage VBE for different points. Now record the values and input current each point. Now using these values we need to draw a graph between values IB and VBE at constant VE. So here for input characteristics, here by keeping output voltage that is VCE is at constant, by changing input voltage we take input current that is IB values. So for different constant values we take different input current values by changing input voltage. Then we can draw a graph in between input current and input voltage. Then that graph gives the input characteristics of common emitter configuration. This is the graph. Now here equation for input resistance for common emitter configuration, that is Ri Rin equal to VBE by IB. So this equation gives the resistance values in common at input characteristics for common emitter configuration. Similarly, output characteristics. Here the output characteristics of common emitter configuration are obtained between the output current IC and output voltage VCE with constant input current IB. So keep the base current IB constant and vary the value of output voltage VCE for different points. Now note down the value of collector current, that is IC, for each point. Okay. By keeping input current constant, input current IB constant, we change by changing output voltages we take output current values, that is collector current values IC. So this repeating this process same, we get a number of values, number of output current values at different output voltages at different constant values. Now we can draw a graph in between output voltage, that is VCE, and output current, that is IC. Then we get a different curves like this, and this total graph gives the output characteristics for the common emitter configuration. Now here we want to know the output resistance. For that R out equal to VCE by IC. So this equation gives the output resistance for common emitter configuration. Okay, this is the different types of configurations for transistors. Okay, like this. Okay, these are the different common base configuration. Here we have discussed about common base configuration, what is circuit diagram and how it works, and what is the current gain and voltage gain, and what are the input characteristics, and what are the output characteristics. For similarly, common collector configuration, and what is the circuit diagram, and what are the equation for current gain, and what is the input characteristics, and what is the output characteristics. At the same time, common emitter configuration, what is the circuit diagram, and how to it works, and what is the output characteristics, and what is the output characteristics. Okay, this is the my topic, and thank you to all.